It's a cold January 2nd here in Missouri, so we're going to do something constructive in the garage and put some heated grips on the old KLR. These are the Tusk version. To just wrap around the handlebars, the grip goes on top. There's good instructions online from Rocky Mountain on how to install them. What I'm going to do is mount them on here, run them a little differently. There's the switch they send with it, just a 2-position high-low switch. What I'm going to do is I took the turn signals off this a while back, so I'm going to run and use the turn signal switch for the high and low. See how that works. I've used this style of heated grip before. Wasn't real impressed with it, but that's been years ago. And the grips on the particular bike, it was a Triumph Speed Triple, were really thick grips. I've got some thin half waffle style grips on this, so we'll see. These are supposed to work really good, so I get it on, I'll let you know if they're worth the money. But for 20 bucks, I thought I'd give it a try. The way this heated grip is set up, this wire here hooks to your power on your bike. It goes down and branches off into 2 lines. One goes through a resistor, the other one is just straight. Power line through your resistor gives you the low power setting for your heated grips, full battery voltage. That's the high setting. So what we're going to do is, here is your turn signal switch. And you have a gray, orange, and green wire there. That's your 3 turn signal wires. Originally, the orange is the power coming in. The gray and the green are your left and right turn signals. So what I'm going to do is run it the opposite direction. We'll put like the high power, the full voltage through like the gray wire, through the resistor into the green wire. And then the orange wire will go out to the heated grips themselves. And that way, you flip the turn signal switch one way or the other, and you'll have high and low power. It'll all be nicely contained. Don't have to add the extra switch. So we just got to tap this in, hook those up, and then put the grips on themselves. Okay, the elements are underneath both grips. I did run the wires along the factory turn signal grip, wrap them in tape just to keep them out of harm's way. So when they're all fastened up, they'll be nice. One thing on the throttle side, you got to make sure to position them where they can pivot with the throttle. Leaving out slack, they're not pulling on it, because the solder connection on the grips is a little fragile, so you have to keep that from getting damaged. Okay, everything's on there wired up, and they do work, but this side, since it's on the throttle sleeve and it's insulated from the bar, gets up to about 120 degrees, checking it with my digital thermometer. This side, with the bar running like a heat sink, it only gets up to about 100 degrees. So what we're going to do, I knew this might be a problem, but I wanted to actually see how much difference there was. Most of the guys say to put heat shrink tubing on the handlebar before you put the element down. I've got some vinyl. I don't have any heat shrink tubing that size. No place is open today to get any, so I'm going to wrap the handlebar with some vinyl flooring clear coat film. It's fairly thick, really adhesive. So we'll see if we can take this bar off and gently take the element back off of the handlebar. Since it was knurled, I'd say it'll probably come off. An easy way, if you don't have these glued on, which I don't normally glue the grips down, they hold fine, is take some compressed air. If you got an air compressor, blow it under the edge of the grip. The grip will just slide right off. Right, as you can see, since that bar is knurled, that heating element's just coming right back off. So set that aside. I'm going to wrap that bar in something to help insulate it. See if, then we'll check the temperature, see if they're balanced out better. What I decided to wrap it with is some vinyl patch material for like an inner tube. I had a bunch of it around here, so I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times. Give it kind of a fairly good buildup of it to help insulate that. Then I'll put that back on and then the grip back on, and then we'll do another test. And I just had this stuff laying around. Obviously, if you can find some heat shrink tubing 7/8, that would be the best to use. Okay, there it is, ready for the grip to go on. That vinyl actually worked really good. It's nice and stretchy with an adhesive back. And it formed into the knurl marks on the bar really good and held tight. And since the heating element, the plastic on it wasn't as pliable, it actually sticks better to the vinyl than it did to the knurled bar. So it should hold really good. Now all I got to do is slip the grip back on, try it again and see what the temp is. Final result after insulating this side over here, much closer temperatures. We got like 100, that time I measured about 118 over here and about 113 over here. So still a 5-degree difference, but that's a lot better than a 20+ degree difference. And you can't, I don't really feel that one's significantly hotter than the other now. Granted, that's still nothing compared to the hand grips that have the heating elements built into them. I've used those before, and they would get so hot you couldn't hardly put your hand on them. But these should, for $20, these should give a little bit of warmth, depending on how thick a glove you're wearing. So I'd recommend them so far. Say I haven't got to ride it yet. Tomorrow is supposed to be in the 50s maybe. I'll probably take it out. Right now it's like 20 degrees. So she's going to set in the garage. Till next time.